So, I've got, like I said to you just beforehand, we've got a little group of questions that we're going to fire at you.
Yeah.
But firstly, just tell everybody who you are, what you do, what is going on in your work right now, I guess.
Yeah. There's the applause. Just as I'm introducing myself.
Yeah.
So, Lorna Moles, I run a business called Farrell HR. We've been in business for 2 years, and it's an HR consultancy that helps businesses that are looking to grow and develop and future-proof themselves. I spent 20 odd years in-house HR roles, logistics, manufacturing. Following redundancy, set up my business, and now I just love working with businesses that are looking to just make the world of work a better place with my help.
Well, hopefully we're going to dig into that in a little bit more detail when we ask these questions. But first question I've got for you is, what are you currently seeing and feeling in the talent space now?
So I think it's a tricky time. I think where there are smaller businesses, obviously there have been lots of changes by the current and previous governments that I sort of feel like my clients are saying makes it harder to be an employer.
Yeah.
It's more expensive, it's more challenging. There are quite a few, it's an understatement, but employment law changes, lots of things for employers to keep up with. And actually, I wonder if they're more focused on that than actually bringing in the right talent. I think they're worried about doing it wrong, and therefore maybe the eye off the ball a bit in terms of, are we getting the best people? So that there are hires happening, maybe a little bit more cautiously because of the cost challenges. But then where there are, I work with different clients, different sectors. In some of them, there are some skill shortages. There are some challenges in finding and retaining great people. I just know some of them are really struggling with it.
Right. So those clients you work with, and I know that you work with a kind of whole plethora of client base.
Yeah.
What are the ones that are doing it well, doing differently, do you think? Or what is it they're doing well altogether?
I think the ones that are doing it well and doing it differently are the ones that really take their time to focus and think about, this isn't just putting a bum on a seat. This is about really thinking about the future of whatever that vacancy is, whatever the role is, getting the right people in from the start. And that really starts with scoping the role and then thinking about scoping the role. How are you then advertising that role? Where are you advertising? Who are you, if you're using agencies, who are you using to support you? Do they understand the mission and the goals of your business?
Yeah.
And actually then it doesn't really stop. If you do then make a great hire, hopefully, how do you onboard that person to have a great experience and to really hit the ground running, to want to stay with you and to want to do a good job?
And do you know what? It's interesting you say that, because we're definitely seeing that, which is one of the reasons why we did smart sourcing.
Yeah.
Is that customers are now wanting a lot more of that integration solution from their talent providers.
Yeah.
So in order to not have such high churn,
Yeah.
we need to really get into the detail as to what it is.
It's not just filling a job.
Exactly.
It's more than it, isn't it? And I think, there's another organisation I work with, and I know what they do very well is, and again, I think it's a trap people fall into. They're not just interviewing to understand the skills and to see, have you got the qualifications and the certifications? It's actually, who are you as a person? Are you going to be a great fit for our business? Are you going to work well with the teams we've already got? And really then assessing those values, those competencies, those behaviours, and not just the, can you do the job?
Yeah, it makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
Okay. And so what is it that you are seeing that makes you cringe or feel like you need to perhaps step in and change things? Is there anything like that going on?
I think, and I know I've said this to you before, there are quite a few situations where as an external HR provider, I'm called in because somebody's made a bad hire. And when first of all, you're dealing with the emergency and dealing with the problem and helping them to unpick what they need to unpick. But then when you kind of say, okay, what happened? It's that they've rushed the hiring or that they've not really taken the time. People are busy.
Being reactive.
Yeah, people are busy. People are trying to squeeze things. And unfortunately, that's really dangerous to do, especially with Employment Rights Act changes. You need to get this right from the start. And I'm just seeing quite a few bad hires where I just think those leaders maybe need a little bit of support to be, like you say, not reactive, be proactive, be prepared, get it right the first time and save yourself a whole heap of pain and money later on.
And again, from our perspective, I think we're seeing that the businesses that are taking a bit more of a strategic view and future planning tend to be the ones that are getting the best out of the talent space right now.
Yeah.
Those reactive ones that are kind of maybe engaging with us when they're already in a notice period for their exit recruit or whatever it might be. And then, say, speeding the process up, making bad hires.
Yeah.
And, we've done quite a piece of work now about what that actual spend looks like when it comes to making a bad hire.
Yeah.
Well, so I think it flushes through at like 3 times salary, which is huge if you're doing multiple hires over.
Yeah. And it's the knock-on effect, isn't it? If you make a bad hire, there's a knock-on effect on the wider team, morale, engagement.
Yeah.
Actually, if that person leaves, they're picking up the extra work.
Yeah.
You're going to lose not only the person that you've hired quickly, but wider team impacts as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So you touched on it a minute ago. Tell me a bit more about what you're seeing with regards to skills-based hiring over qualifications. So that's a massive topic, and I know they've just done a chat on it over there today about skills-based organisations, and the room was packed.
Yeah.
So I was just thinking from your perspective, where are you seeing?
I mean, it's so hard, isn't it? Like you said earlier, businesses are being a little bit more cautious and careful. Hiring budgets, you see all the normal budgets getting squeezed at a time like this, marketing budgets, hiring budgets. And actually people are being quite cautious about when they're hiring. But I've had a few conversations here at the Festival of Work about, are we relying less now on qualifications and on paper versus actually what have you done? Come to an interview and tell us, not only, let's say in an HR role, tell us about your HR qualifications and your experience. But if I was hiring an HR person today, for example, I would want to know, tell me how you've dealt with some difficult grievances lately. Tell me how you've led a change program in your organisation. What was your role in that? And actually, you can't get that based on paper and qualifications in a textbook. You might have written a great dissertation, but actually, have you got the real world skills and experience?
Yeah, no, I get that. We've had quite a few students of CIPD coming to the stand. Obviously, CIPD run the Festival of Work. But what we've also seen in the job market is that companies are looking for that hands-on experience, and rather than necessarily just looking at, have you got a CIPD level 5?
Yeah.
So I can definitely see where that skills-based hiring is going through the organisations rather than just, lower level roles.
And I think if you look at any other kind of role, I've worked in logistics and warehouses before. You look at a warehouse operative role. Yes, you might look at the certifications around maybe forklift truck licenses, and can you actually do all of the basic warehouse processes? But on top of that, you then need to look at, is the person, can I swear?
Swear if you want to swear.
No, dickhead.
Yeah.
Is the person a dickhead? Absolutely. But also you're looking at this amazing skills landscape now, which is about technology and AI, and what have those people done and what have they experienced around using maybe different technologies in a warehousing environment? Are they up to speed? And if they're not, have you got the time and patience and capacity to get them up to speed?
Yeah.
So
makes perfect sense.
Time.
Okay, so let's moving on to the real hot topic of the Festival of Work is AI.
Yeah.
What are you seeing in your space at the minute in terms of that? Your customers, or there's loads of tech platforms here.
Yeah.
What's leading the way? Where's your head at?
You just need to look at how events like this have moved on in the last few years. So much of the content is about AI and technology. You're looking at providers and what have they got embedded in their systems and services and products around AI and agents. Every talk I've been to, even if it's not about AI, has talked about AI. Someone shared a tip earlier about even if you're using it personally to meal plan for your family for the week. It's everywhere. We can't escape it. It's not, in my opinion, it's not an HR issue. It's not to be HR-led. We're all needing to embrace AI, but I'm seeing businesses that are at various stages. Some of them are really far ahead and thought leaders, and we're all looking at what they're doing. Others are not even there yet.
No.
And they, I might sometimes have a client come to me and say, we think we need an AI policy. Okay, but what are you even doing? Where does your business sit with this? And
we're seeing that as well. Like, all the conversations I've been having, people are saying, we know we want it. We know we should have it, but we don't know what we want it to do. And like, I can only speak about our experience within AI usage, and that for us is, and I saw this at a talent event actually, and it really resonated with me. If anything, AI at the moment is creating capacity, so that we can then focus on more tasks that are going to benefit the business, the individual, the client.
Good. Yeah.
Taking away a lot of the administration tasks and the heavy workload stuff.
I think it is that. It's not about being scared of AI taking our jobs. It's actually about what parts of our profession and our team's work can it take away so we can be the best versions of ourselves. But I think there is the flip side, and certainly the work I do, employees are very aware of their rights in the current time. And they are using AI to support
because they're asking it the wrong question, aren't they?
feeding the wrong information and hoping to find an answer that will allow them to maybe make a claim or get some money. And don't get me wrong, if someone has a claim to make and an employer has treated them badly, that's what grievance procedures are there for. But using AI to ask it in the hope that it gives you an answer that says, yes, go and raise this grievance, so that there are good sides and bad sides. And I think this is about what does it mean for your business and how can it, free up your time and your team's time to actually go and do the great work that
makes
you
sense.
can do.
All right, so before we move on to a quick tip for job seekers, give me a tip for any hiring manager that might be listening and they're struggling to find good talent. What would be your kind of top tip?
Yeah, so for me, this is about, like I said earlier, go back to the very start. What is the job? If you've got somebody that's left and you need to replace them, take a pause. Do you need to replace like for like? Do you really need to replace the job? Or do you need to maybe make a change to that role? Really scope the role clearly. And not only scope the role, but the person. Who's your ideal person? What are their behaviours? What are their characteristics? And then weave that into how you advertise the job, where you advertise the job. And then when you're interviewing, test those things. And, of course, use an agency. If you need a partner that can actually come and help you, go and find the best people in the market rather than, I heard someone earlier say, I post on Indeed. That can be just a nightmare. Just think about what you're looking for and where you're going to find those people.
What we tend to find with businesses is recruitment might be 1% of their day, whereas it's 100% of ours. And I wouldn't dream of, pushing out HR advice because that isn't my bag. So you're right, I'm partnering with a good recruiter, but I know there's nervousness sometimes around doing that because A, the cost.
I think it's cost,
and B, the trust factor, and because there's a lot of us out there. Okay, cool. So, last question then. Finally, for job seekers, obviously, again with the world of AI and the developments of it, what would be your top tip for somebody that's looking to secure a dream role now?
I think sticking with the AI topic, actually. Lots of people are using AI to produce or enhance their CV, and I think you can tell the difference sometimes. I don't know if you see this, but I can see the difference. So I think definitely make sure that you're always tailor your CV to the role that you're applying for, but don't heavily rely on AI. You are the human. If you can't explain what's in your CV at an interview or to a recruiter in a screening call, then actually you're losing the person and the great person that you are. So use it to support you, but don't use it to replace you.
And that is a really good piece of advice because that's been a hot topic across the podcast. Is recruiters being able to spot an AI CV a mile off. Because it still leaves the dashes in and various other Americanisms that might be there, or it just doesn't sound authentic. And so I think that's a really good tip. Any other tips? Any lasting comments?
I think, again, if I go back to if you're an employer, a business owner, just really thinking about recruitment and bringing someone in doesn't stop at the point they have their first day. So plan your onboarding well, get your team involved, get them a buddy for their first few weeks, have a plan for them, make sure they've got their IT set up, because all of that goes a long way to make sure they have a great employee experience. And want to stay with you rather than just, great, you're here, off you go. That's not fair. That's not setting them up for success. It's not setting you up for success. So, I would say focus on the onboarding.
Top tip.